against the regular Cuban style that we're used to. You know, very aggressive, he's rangy, that lets his hands go. He really follows up a beautiful jab with a very big right hand. Massive puncher, huge puncher.
Well, ring walks now, moments away. Your master of ceremonies in Munich tonight, Mr. Tuukka Koivunen.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you once again, and welcome to the Plaza Media Studios here in Munich, Germany. The time has come for our main event of the evening, the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight Tournament Final. Ladies and gentlemen, making his entrance first, from Havana, Cuba, Juniel Dorticos.
Well, the manner of this man's defeat in the Season 1 semi-final won him the hearts of fight fans around the world. There was no more cruel or undeserved ending to the campaign of Juniel Dorticos in 2018 than to see the Cuban fold against Murat Gassiev so dramatically seconds before the final bell. He passes the trophy named after his boxing idol and says if he wins tonight, he'll take it to Louisville, Kentucky and lay it beside the grave of the greatest. He's a renewed fighter this season under the guidance of Cuban trainer Pedro Roque, navigating some tricky early rounds against Andrew Tabiti before closing it, as we just saw, in devastating fashion. And a reminder, if we needed it, the danger he possesses late into even the most difficult contest. The KO doctor, Cuban's fighting son, the defending champion tonight, the IBF world champion, Juniel Dorticos.
And here comes his opponent, the #1 seed in the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight Tournament from Riga, Latvia. Here is Mairis Briedis.
Well, the distinct absence of a partisan wall of noise that no doubt would have greeted Mairis Briedis had this fight gone ahead as planned in March. Much of Europe went into simultaneous lockdown just a week before these two men were slated to meet at the Arena Riga in March. How different things are tonight. It was a razor-thin decision against Alexander Usyk that kept him out of the Season 1 final at 35 years of age. If Mairis Briedis can dredge up a performance anything like that quality, he has every chance of becoming a three-time cruiserweight champion of the world, Ring Magazine champion and winner of the Muhammad Ali Trophy. The former WBC and WBO World Cruiserweight champion, Latvia's Mairis Briedis.
Fighters, please step into the light. Ladies and gentlemen, the Muhammad Ali Trophy is at stake. Juniel Dorticos, Mairis Briedis, go to your corners. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's main event is scheduled for 12 rounds for the Muhammad Ali Trophy, Ring Magazine belt, and the IBF Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by WBSS and sanctioned by the IBF. The supervisor, Roberto Rea from Italy. The three judges scoring this fight at ringside will be Michael Hook from Sweden, Jörg Milke from Germany, and Matteo Montella from Italy. And if the fight is declared a draw, our fourth judge deciding the winner will be Holger Wiemann from Germany. Our third man in the ring, in charge of the actions, is the referee, hailing from Poland. Here is Leszek Jankowiak. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to first the fighter on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white and gold, weighing 90.6 kilograms, 199 pounds. His record, 24 wins and 1 defeat, including 22 KO victories. He comes to us from Miami, Florida, USA, by way of Havana, Cuba. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the World Boxing Super Series number 2 seed and the reigning and defending IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World. Please welcome the KO Doctor, Juniel Dorticos. And introducing his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and red. His official weight, 90.2 kilograms, 198 pounds. He enters the ring tonight with a fine record of 26 victories and 1 defeat, including 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the former WBC and the WBO world champion and the tournament number 1 seed. Hailing from Riga, Latvia, ladies and gentlemen, here is Mairis Briedis.
Boxers, Mairis, Juniel. Boxers, you received my instructions in dressing rooms. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
The 2 tournament semi-finalists from season 1, both of whom pushed Usyk and Gassiev right to the wire, now have their moment in the sun. The draw, remember, is not a possibility. We will have a winner tonight. 12 3-minute rounds, IBF title, Ring Magazine belt and Muhammad Ali trophy, all on the line here in Munich. Who will join Josh Taylor and Naoya Inoue as the winner of the last final of season 2? Dorticos, the champion, wearing white and gold. Methodical, ever looming, that front foot pressure doesn't let opponents rest and settle. Briedis in the black and red doesn't always start fast. He will need to here, Darren, and the one thing we noticed, it's a big ring tonight.
It really is a big ring. Here we go. All that time we've been waiting for. The first bell has sounded. And like I expected, I did think Dorticos would hold the centre of the ring. Try and pierce out that jab. Look for that right hand that we see finish the fight against Sabiti. For me, Briedis, the more comfortable on the back foot, so with the ring being so good, I expect him to move, stay out of danger, especially early on.
And even those first 2 or 3 jabs that Briedis has caught on the arms, he'll feel that thumping power that Dorticos has such a reputation for. Just comes in with a stiff jab through the middle. Dorticos was caught up through the middle by Andrew Tabiti and, of course, by Murat Gassiev, who spent large portions of their contest on the back foot, but picked his spots really, really well and with aggression when he did commit. And that's what Mairis Briedis may have to do tonight if he's to have success, but Dorticos is the one to let his hands go first.
Yeah, he did. He landed a right hand that seemed to trouble Briedis for a split second there. For sort of cuffing right hand round the side. Not your typical Cuban style that we've touched on. Very aggressive, but very good boxer.
Both of these two had to take their foot off the gas, having been in camp since the beginning of the year, ready for that late March duel that was cancelled just days before. It will be down to who was able to adjust, who was able to taper down and keep disciplined in a difficult year.
Yeah. Cagey start from both men. Understandable, so much on the line. Just having a look, feeling out process.
Dorticos will always touch you with that jab as soon as you hold your feet. You better get off the line if you do stand in front of him, because that jab is a measuring stick, but it's also the setup for that big right hand, and Mairis Briedis will know that. You see him step into his right-hand side away from that, and they will have worked on that, moving anti-clockwise as much as they can. Nice left hook through the middle, though.
Right-hand left hook from Briedis there, good shot. Dorticos took it well.
Both men have had their spells, haven't they?
They have. Cagey, but a good opening round.
A little bit of atmosphere from the corners and a few people that have sat the intensity level in here, though there aren't many people, has certainly risen.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
I'm in. As in, shuffle up and deal. Pull up your socks. We're going to the river. In. Mind as sharp as a handful of diamonds. 52 cards, 2 words. I'm in.
Noom helped me live healthier. With Psychology, I feel great.
And I've lost 2 stone.
Visit Noom.com to start your journey.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
His season 1 campaign, Yuniel Dorticos, November 2017. He got rid of a very dangerous challenger in Dmitry Kudryashov in just 2 rounds. That had the potential to be a hugely difficult night indeed for the Cuban, but he dispatched of him. And in that tournament format, crucial to get through the early rounds with minimal fuss. You couldn't say the same about him this season. 2 difficult fights. Mateusz Masternaku, always durable, went the distance, and Tabiti caused him some problems early too, and that one went late. So he's done 22 rounds this tournament. Mairis Briedis considerably less so.
Start the second round is battle of the jabs. Some good variation from Dorticos. Head, body with the jab. Always thinking about throwing that right hand. How can he find the opening?
Briedis' imperative will be to try and keep Dorticos turning all the time, just offset that rhythm to that right hand, just glancing past the front of the guard.
I think to try and make Dorticos fall short of that right hand and land that lovely right uppercut that he throws so well.
Just look for the left hook there, but Dorticos' hand position was responsible, keeping that right hand just glued up by the temple. Back Briedis into the corner. This is where he likes to go to work, but Briedis finding the exit well.
So important you don't allow Dorticos to get into a rhythm, because once he does behind that jab, he really does follow up with the right hand, puts everything into it. But Briedis, good overhand right.
He's also looked for that uppercut up the middle a couple of times. Briedis, that was the money punch from Murat Gassiev that caused so much damage, and because of the way that Dorticos holds that guard and sometimes doesn't move his torso as much as he should do, when he stands in front of you, when he misses with the right hand, he is there for that uppercut up the middle, and you can see Briedis already starting to shape up for it.
Yeah, fainting well, Briedis on the back foot. Trying to draw out the lead from Dorticos and come back with his own counters. Got to be careful, sorry Chris, when Dorticos throws that jab, he is guilty at times of pouring it out. He's a sucker for that right hand counter that Briedis will be looking for.
Briedis staying tight guard, just tried to win back with a left hook, but was well short because Dorticos took his feet back and the Cuban just backing the Latvian into the corner. Wants to show that he can be the boss when they come together as well.
Tempo starting to increase now. Both men letting their hands go. Good jab, but a good right to the body from Dorticos. Supporters of both men here very vocal in the corners.
10 seconds on the clock in round number 2 in a fight that you cannot take your eyes off. Mairis Briedis just poking that jab through the guard just to keep Dorticos honest as they go back to their corners.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Now more than ever, you want to protect your family and belongings. With a home alarm system from SimpliSafe, you're in control. You customise, order and get it quickly delivered. Right out of the box, our family of smart sensors is ready to protect. You simply set it up yourself in under an hour. Plus, you can get no contract professional monitoring for added peace of mind. Visit simplisafe.co.uk for a simple way to protect.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Back well with him.
One thing about Briedis that he does so well, he's very good at setting traps, and I expect him, as these rounds go on, to start doing that.
Third round, keep him up.
Since parting from his long-time trainer, Sandis Kleins, after the Usyk fight, Briedis has worked with Dmitry Shiholai. Latvian coach worked with Richard Bolotniks, who's in action against Jose Burton in Riga tonight. They had a brief spell with Victor Yarasuk for the Noel Mikelian fight. And it has reunited at points with Vasily Chernigovs, who's described as a father figure and the man who really taught him the fundamentals of the game he knows so well. But it is Dmitry Shiholai who's in the corner at the wheel tonight. Big pressure for a trainer who hasn't been on this stage either.
Yeah, you really do call on your trainers in big contests like this, especially in the later rounds if it goes that far. Briedis has that very good relationship with his. Always thinking on the back foot, looking for those counters. Dorticos again stalking his prey.
Briedis just fainting with the feet there too, wasn't he? Just to get Dorticos to hold his feet momentarily. That was smart work.
He's very good at giving you the eyes as well, Briedis. He'll look at the chest and he'll come back to the head. You see it all the time with top-class fighters. They never neglect the feint. It's such an important tool at top levels boxing.
The timing of Dorticos' jab has been so key to his success in recent years. When opponents are moving, it's always that split second where they lift and reset that front foot to position themselves for their shots. That's when he fires it through. And I talk about the great fighters like Gennady Golovkin. It's always the timing, not necessarily the speed of the punch. And it's when you throw it, understanding when your opponents are reorganising, when that gap appears. And that's what Dorticos does so well.
He does, and, you know, though I touched on that, he does pour out his jab at times. I almost feel he uses that as a trap. He tries to lure his opponent in so then he can throw the right hand.
Just left it counter from Mairis Briedis there, though. Right hand over the top from Dorticos. Briedis comes back with three. A couple of them were just muffled by the guard, but he just creates the angle there.
They're letting the hands go now, Chris. Levers flying, head, body. Oh, left hook.
Dorticos felt that one, just goes tight guard for a moment, rolls, uppercut through the middle.
Great action in the third round.
Again, that clubbing power from Dorticos comes back with a right hand to the body, but there was just a Mona Lisa smile from Mairis Briedis, as if to say, I've had the better over the last minute and a half.
Yeah, he's worked well, Briedis, the last part of this round. Picks his shots well. So dangerous with that right hand, Dorticos. Really loads up with it.
10-second clapper as Briedis just looked for a right hand over the jab there and spun his way back to centering. They two let go with right hands at the same time. Good round, really good round.
Entertaining stuff there, Chris. Very exciting.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
There are some performances you simply have to see.
You won't forget me, will you?
Unmissable performances are waiting for you on Sky Cinema.
The natural beauty my country offers always attracts visitors, taking in the finest fresh air.
Weather's just absolutely perfect.
Pack a sweater. Take in the great views, seeing all types of birdies.
So impressive.
And remember, try to take home a shiny souvenir. Enjoy golf at its purest. Beginning Thursday on Sky Sports. Feel it all.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Last stoppage in 1976, it was in Munich over Richard Dunn. He said he wants to emulate that tonight, and if he does so, he will take the trophy to the Cave Hill Cemetery in Louisville, Kentucky, and lay the trophy at Ali's grave. A fitting tribute for a man who has idolised the great Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. And after his exit in the semi-final and the emotion that he showed there, you see what it means to him, and if things get tough, you know that his body will quit before his mind out.
Absolutely. Good variation with the jab from Dorticos at the start of this round, and that will help him find the opening for that right hand. Throw the big stiff jab to the body, try and get the hands of Briedis to drop, and then throw that right hand. Got to be a bit more cute instead of loading up with the shot. Equally, Briedis boxing well on the back foot, always thinking, moving nicely. Just the right hand on the gloves there, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, parried the jab before too, just subtle work, and then shoots that uppercut through the middle. He's really done his research, Mairis Briedis.
Yeah, he's a top quality operator. We see that against Usyk when he was on top form, narrowly lost. It's a very, very good fighter.
Oof, lovely exchange of hooks there.
Yeah, Dorticos with the left to the body, Briedis with the left to the head. Both men took them well.
And they've really warmed up here. Yeah, good sparring. Mairis Briedis for the first camp earlier this year with Mikhail Luau, Jack Massey and Chris Billham-Smith. Three excellent British domestic cruiserweights. That's a big right hand through the middle there. Dorticos took it well.
He really did, Chris. He took that well because that was a full-blown right hand from Briedis there.
His chin has never been in question, Uniel Dorticos. I mean, the number of times he got hit clean by Gassiev, who's a real banger too, and he only folded right at the death after taking so many clean. I don't think he's ever really had that as a question mark above him.
He's got a very good chin. He just ran out of gas in the fight against Gassiev. He took that shot from Briedis well. Oh, big right hand from Dorticos.
On the temple too, and Briedis holds on for a moment there. Maybe the first proper meaningful shot that has got through and just given the Latvian something to think about. Dorticos just mirroring the footwork, cutting off the ring, just trying to pinch that space of Mairis Briedis, make the ring sport.
He works really well from the centre of the ring, Dorticos. He just slides out of range when Briedis plants his feet and lets his shots go, makes him fall short. Good jab from Briedis, though. High-quality boxing this from both men.
Briedis finds himself just backed into that corner. Dorticos rips to the body. You could see him just setting his moment. Always manoeuvring you, always stalking. Kind of impending doom about the way he cuts that ring off. Just chops down a right hand. Mairis Briedis comes back with a couple of jabs. Another really competitive round between these two.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Noom taught me how to build healthier habits with psychology. I feel great.
And I've lost over a stone and counting.
Visit Noom.com to start your journey.
I'm in. As in, shuffle up and deal. Pull up your socks. We're going to the river. In. Mind as sharp as a handful of diamonds. 52 cards. 2 words. I'm in.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
From the Cuban setup, we know how good they are, and he would have learnt bundles from that Gassiev defeat.
Second out. 5th round.
Well, we've had so many exciting cruiserweight fights in recent years. You think about the history of the division, some of the really attritional cruiserweight scraps. You have to go back to Carly Holyfield 1. Holyfield's will and conditioning tested to their limits. That was over 15 round, of course. Think about James Toney and Vasily Jirov. The IBF was on the line that night as well, as it is tonight. And dramatics in the final round. Will we have dramatics late on in this one? It's really heated up over the last couple of rounds.
It has. An interesting from Briedis here. He's opting to try and hold the centre. Push back here, though, but he started the beginning of the round, the first 30 seconds, trying to hold the centre.
Well, as you say, Darren, it's the circle within the circle. You cannot give too much momentum to these forward pressure fighters. You have to hold your ground in spurts, and Briedis has done a really good job of mixing it up, staying on the back foot, lateral movement, but also, like he is now, holding his ground, being the boss, establishing himself too, and limiting the amount of time that Dorticos,
good work,
is on the front foot where he likes to be.
Absolutely. You don't want to be predictable with your punch output, but also your footwork. You want to mix it up, keep your opponent thinking all the time. Smart boxing from Briedis, picking the shots well. Dorticos needs to get back behind that jab, head, body.
Just letting him out of the corner a little bit too easily there, Dorticos. The exits for Briedis, and we're worried whether the large ring might be of a benefit to the Latvian and slight detriment to the Cuban. It does seem that Briedis is able to exit from the corners when he does get stuck there. But these are the moments where Dorticos looks the most dangerous too.
Yeah, stylistically, both different, but so evenly matched. They really are. top operators. We're looking for the right hand there, Dorticos. Breedis is just able to take the sting out of it there, keep his left hand up.
But then just underhooks as well, just for that brief moment, which tells you that he felt the shot. Just all the time, feels like maybe there'll be some kind of mid to late drama in this one. Glancing right hand, didn't miss by much there. Breedis comes back, lovely little three-punch combination. And again, hands were high and tight from Dorticos, stiff jab. There's Breedis stepped in there, just stifling his entry. Nice right hand from the Latvian.
They don't waste much, neither men. Though Dorticos does load up with the right hand, very rarely misses. If he doesn't connect cleanly, it's due to Breedis keeping his hands high.
And if he does connect cleanly, you're in big trouble. Left hook to the body, counter upstairs from the Cuban. Both landed simultaneously, and Breedis just maintaining that gap with a short, firing jab up through the middle. Breedis maybe senses he's done enough. They threw at the same time there. So 5 rounds in the bank so far.
We've got it even at the first round level. Couldn't split in the first round. 2 apiece since. But very close rounds where you could argue they could go either way.
It's always that kind of gripe from fans is 2 evenly scored rounds. I'm saying they don't really like it, but it's the philosophy I've always thought is why punish one guy because you can't make your mind up.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is subjective. They've got a hard job of these judges around the ring. I'm glad I'm not one.
Well, the scorecard, as you say, isn't really our job. We just give a rough gauge of where we think the fight is going, and I don't think you need to be an expert in boxing to know that this one is close.
Very close. High action, high class action from both men.
Just feel of the 2 of them, maybe just the ring generalship and the momentum slightly with Mairis Breedis just picking those shots and moving and I guess perhaps imposing his game plan slightly the better of the 2. We know Dorticos wants to push him back and cut the ring off. He's not being able to do that at will, and he walks into another stiff shot there from Mairis Breedis.
Yeah, certainly I would say Breedis has more strings to his bow, but the string that and the bow that Dorticos has is very effective.
It's a bow with a very big arrow.
It is.
The last thing you want is a big arrow to the head, as poor Andrew Tabiti found out in a contest that he was largely competitive in up until the point that Dorticos pulled back the string. And that is the danger that Mairis Breedis will always be aware of.
Cannot afford to switch off. Someone carries that power. Could be curtains at any point. But a man with the experience and the boxing know-how, Breedis, I'm sure we won't see that. Very good operator himself.
Just the mouth of Mairis Breedis open for first time in the contest is just the early signs of fatigue setting in, the clock ticking down to 1 minute 30 of the 6th round, which means we are exactly at the halfway point of the contest.
Boxing nicely, Dorticos in this round. Not loading up with anything, just picking the shots nicely. Always feel in a fight where you're having to think all the time, they can be very draining.
That mental pressure that Alexander Usyk is so famous for exerting, had trouble doing it for long periods against Mairis Breedis. Such a close encounter. Had it gone to the 4th judge, it would have been Mairis Breedis in the final. Holger Weimann has that unenviable task of drawing up a 4th scorecard tonight if we need it.
Good jab from Breedis, pushing the head back of Dorticos. Look at the concentration on both men's faces.
Dorticos, just a little adjustment, stepping off to his left-hand side. Is that just a signal that he's trying to line that big right hand up? There it is, just pushed it out. Wasn't too much behind it that time. Dorticos, head snap back by that one. Best punch of the fight so far.
Absolutely. You talk about the chin of Dorticos. Well, he's got a fantastic chin because that was a fantastic shot.
He took so many of them against Murat Gassiev, but you have to wonder how fights like that leave you in terms of gas left in the tank later on in your career. Even for a fighter of his granite chin, must have taken something out of his tank.
Big, big, big right uppercut that was. Picked it so well. Hopefully we're going to see it here. That was a good right hand over the top of a lazy jab from Dorticos.
Again, Dorticos does catch most of those kind of straight 1-2s on the gloves, but
beautiful shot.
Always that uppercut that he's been vulnerable to, and we knew that could be an issue going in. And Briedis has just got a little bit closer and landing a little bit cleaner as these rounds have progressed. Pedro Roque in his corner. Journey and coaching that started in his Cuban homeland 5 decades ago. He coached the senior Cuban boxing team, the youth side, oversaw the likes of triple Olympic gold medalist Felix Savon, former super featherweight champion Joel Casamayo, Yuri Gamboa, Guillermo Rigondo, all under his wing. A coach's dream. And Darren, I imagine some fighters that as an England international, you would have seen a lot of too and watched on in awe as they work their magic.
Well, I tried desperately to, you know, base my style around the Cuban fundamentals. It's such a effective way of boxing. You know, it is the art of boxing to hit and not be hit.
One thing about Junior Dorticos, though, where the one criticism of fighters like Rigondo and Julio La Cruz in the amateurs is that they tend to be safety-first fighters. I would argue he breaks that convention entirely.
He does.
He's almost safety last at times.
He does. And you know, oh, big right hand. He took it well again, Dorticos. A lovely shot from Briedis.
That poker face, just so typical of the Cuban fighters. It's as if nothing happened moments after his head had snapped back and he's straight back on the front foot, and just mentally have to remember the effect that will have on Mairis Briedis as well as Junior Dorticos, that he's landed clean leather and seemingly has nothing for his efforts apart from a man who has now just stepped up the gear slightly, quickened his feet. Oh, walked into a couple there, Junior Dorticos, and he looks hurt. He's hanging on here.
No punches.
And the referee was just a couple of inches away from taking a left hook. Mairis Briedis has had a mini breakthrough in round number 7.
Yeah, he's landing some big shots. Very cute shots, picking them well.
It was in the 9th against Gassiev that a couple of shots landed and just took the steam out of Dorticos, and he wasn't really the same from then onwards. Another couple of moments like that for Mairis Briedis, and he could be in for a big championship round here.
Doesn't need to get greedy, though. He's landed some good shots on the back foot. Doesn't need to go looking for it. Go back to that jab, start setting the traps. Good cuffing right hand there from Briedis.
Just on the temple, wasn't it, there? And again, Dorticos hung on. Minute to go in the 7th.
He's gone back to pouring that jab out. We can counter-punch up Briedis. Right hand back from Dorticos there.
He was looking for it, wasn't he? But the jab just broke up his rhythm mid-punch, mid-flow. Holding centre ring, but just not his best round, the Cuban. Briedis just feinting with the feet, just pushing his man back, measuring that distance, then slamming that jab through the gap again.
Good head movement from Briedis there, moving side to side, looking for the left uppercut. Got into a rhythm nicely this round, Briedis. Oh, big shot. Took it well, Dorticos had his hands high.
The uppercut, then the jab, almost the reverse of the combination that he's had some success with so far, the Latvian. Big round that for Mairis Briedis.
Yeah, boxed lovely there, didn't he, Briedis? Good right hand. And he leant back on the ropes. That was a lovely shot. He leant back on the ropes. He took the sting out of the shot here from Dorticos, and he come back
really
with
smart.
a right hand. Very, very smart boxing there. Dorticos was looking to hold on, try and spoil, but was certainly buzzed.
Well, as you said, leant back on the ropes. I just saw the word Ali written on those ropes too, and just had a flashback of the Rumble in the Jungle, where probably the loosest ropes of all time in any boxing ring. And George Foreman just couldn't land clean on that man for love more money. What a fight that was. What a legacy he's left. And as we mentioned, nearly 50 years after his last knockout victory over Richard Dunn in Munich, and his name is on the trophy. His name in the history books for all time as the greatest, and wouldn't he like to win that trophy, to take it back to Louisville, Kentucky, and be indelibly linked with his hero forever. It means so much to Juniel Dorticos. He's given up so much, defecting over a decade ago, hasn't seen his family for such a long time. He would just love to close this chapter with one last huge win and go back to Cuba and live out his days in peace. But he's got some work to do here.
Yeah, he has, because Briedis is turning the screw here, Chris. Letting his hands go. Trying to hold the centre of the ring a little bit more. He's slightly more aggressive. But back comes Dorticos, pushing Briedis back.
Stop!
Trying to find a big right hand of his own.
Briedis again, smart, just stepping off to his right-hand side, away from the big right hand that he knows that Dorticos is looking for. There it is. You can see him shaping up for it.
Mixing out well to the body there, Chris.
Not been easy to catch clean upstairs, Mairis Briedis, and when in doubt, aim for the body, especially when you've got the thunder in your hands, as the Cuban has. You can see his feet just trying to keep on terms with Briedis, who's been pretty fleet of foot at 35. No signs of slowing down yet.
Good pressure from Dorticos on the front foot. Got to be careful with that jab again. Turned him well, Briedis. Allowing space behind him from the centre of the ring.
The one thing that has been really positive about this, Darren, and touch wood, the commentator's curse doesn't strike, but it's been a really clean contest so far.
It has.
No head clashes, really. No. The odd one or two, and as I say that, there it is.
No holding, no holding.
But no fouls. Has been boxed at a very high level. I've been in awe of what I'm witnessing here. Great contest.
Well, in keeping with just a myriad of fantastic finals, Taylor Prograis, Inoue Donaire, of course, Usyk and Gassiev in the Season 1 Cruiserweight Tournament final. These two pushed those men so hard. In the respective finals, shot left hook from Mairis Briedis, exits to the left. Dorticos took it well, but these are going to start having an effect at some point, Darren.
Yeah, Dorticos seems to be breathing heavy, his mouth open. Taking a couple of shots there, beautiful pick shots from Dorticos, right hand, left hook. But that pressure on the front foot from Dorticos is so impressive, really willing himself on. He understands what you said there, what is at stake here. He desperately wants to dedicate this trophy to the greatest sportsman ever, Muhammad Ali, really forcing himself onto Briedis.
He's walking onto shots in the process. Briedis getting through that high, tight guard of Juniel Dorticos. Marauded him into the corner again. Briedis exit, finds himself back to centre ring. Nice little level change there, just offering the jab to the body to shoot the right through upstairs. Dorticos lands a right on the gloves at the end of the round. Really, really hotting up this. And so engrossing has it been. It's the first time in, what, 8 rounds?
Yeah.
Not even considered the absence of the crowd here, Dan.
No. I've been in awe, like I say, in that last round of the quality of the stuff from both men. It's really whizzed by. Brilliant action. Good right hand there, took it so well, Dorticos. Just needs to tighten that guard up a little bit. And smart from Briedis, just front his man there as he was in the corner. But out of the two, I feel Dorticos is feeling the pace slightly. Never looks completely ripped off at weigh-ins and in fights, Dorticos, but out of the two, the physique certainly with Briedis. Looks in great condition.
And of course, worth mentioning too that, of course, as we know, Briedis stripped of that WBO title. Had he brought it into this contest, the unification rules would have overridden the IBF rehydration clause, but the fact that Briedis comes in without a belt means that they were subjected to that £10 rehydration clause overnight. It would have weighed in again something like 8 AM this morning. I mean, you know, because you had the belt.
Yeah.
But you know, we did wonder at their ages whether it will affect one fighter slightly more than the other, especially in a nutritional fight, especially down the stretch. Are we just maybe seeing the first signs of that fatigue from Juniel Dorticos?
Perhaps. But he's one of those guys that when he does tire or he does look hurt, he's dangerous. Breedis can't afford to get greedy, thinking that his man's tiring, make a mistake, because he will be punished. That's good from Dorticos, setting traps, jab to the body, then coming back to the right to the head. Oh, good right hand from Breedis.
Did a very similar thing there, didn't he, Breedis? Just pushed the jab through to the chest to open up that gap. Right hand on the temple, just for a second you thought maybe the legs of Dorticos would wilt, but they stood firm.
Breedis not moving as much now, trying to mix fire with fire when Dorticos trades from the centre of the ring. If that continues this round, it'd be very exciting.
Stiff jab there from Dorticos as Breedis tried to step into range. You can hear the thump of that jab, even if it hits the gloves of Mairis Breedis. Power from the Cuban.
Oh, looking for uppercut again, Breedis.
Dorticos was almost in Philly shell there with that right hand just diagonally across his chest. It just stifled the upward momentum of that right uppercut. Stiff jab from Breedis though, steps off to his left-hand side.
It's good pressure on the front foot from Dorticos, but he's running out of ideas. Breedis boxing nicely, so I think it's important for Dorticos now to get behind that jab. Don't telegraph that right hand.
Just caught one as he was on the turn there, Mairis Breedis. Looping right hand, but seems to have taken him really, really well tonight. Never looks like he's been hurt at any stage of this contest. I necessarily think Dorticos has been majorly hurt. He's certainly been buzzed on a couple of occasions by clean, crisp shots that have snuck the head back from the Latvian. Such a great contest to watch this.
It really is. Superb. Superb action from both men. Both men extremely switched on because they know it can be over in a split second.
Double jab, stiff against the guard. Just forced Breedis to reset for a second, but he finishes the round with a nice 1-2 through the guard.
Good left hook from Breedis.
So a slip from Breedis on that centre picture of the Ali Trophy. You can see the real thing at the back of shot. Just in front of that walkway, and all the clean, crisp work, the eye-catching stuff is coming from Dorticos in these little bursts and raids. He just happily sits on the back foot, waits for his moment to commit, and that was the right hand just over a slightly low-held left of Yuniel Dorticos, and maybe those hands just starting to lose position with fatigue, opening up gaps for Breedis that weren't there in those first 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, Dorticos just a bit too predictable with his work there, loading up with the right hand, wasn't trying to set traps or, you know, confuse Breedis at all, just loading up, and that played in the hands of Breedis, who boxed lovely in that round, picking the shots well, head and body, worked the jab well, and creating angles when needing to.
WBO strap, of course, to be contested by Krzysztof Glowacki and Lawrence Okolie, former British champion and the EBU European champion, on the 12th of December in London. Okolie said he was leaning towards Mairis Breedis tonight. Just felt he might be the fresher and sharper of the two men. So far, it's not a bad prediction.
Yeah, there's not much in between them at all. I just feel Breedis is the more well-rounded, more comfortable in the back foot, always looking to counter. But the aggression and the real will to win from Dorticos is so impressive. And that power in the right hand makes him dangerous down to the very last second. But can't be predictable with it, Chris. Both corners very vocal.
That image of Muhammad Ali watching on over their shoulders, taken at the famous Deer Lake. You can tell from the horizontal wooden slats behind him, where he spent so much of the 70s preparing for career-defining fights against Joe Frazier, George Foreman.
Too wild with that right hand. One thing I've known about Dorticos is he throws a backhand, he follows the line that the jab's just gone down. It's very disguises the right hand very well, and he needs to go back to doing that because he's telegraphing that right hand, and someone with the know-how that Breedis has, he'll be able to counter and avoid the shot.
Solid shots through the middle there from Breedis too.
Good jab from Dorticos though.
Ripping that right hand to the body. And again, always stepping off laterally, always getting off that line.
Keep him up.
Yeah, he feels his back on the ropes and he steps away. He knows he doesn't need to be there.
He's been jabbing and stepping to the right too. Because when you jab, knows that Dorticos brings that guard high and central.
It's the variation, Chris, as well. You know, moving left and right, keeping Dorticos thinking all the time.
And ironically, such a Cuban trait of the amateur fighters, the way they were able to move laterally and change direction with just effortless aplomb.
Yeah, Redondo, Gamboa.
I remember speaking to Joshua Buatsi about his World Championship quarterfinal against Julio Cesar Lapruzzo. It's a stiff jab from Bridis. He was saying how difficult it was to pin him down. You never knew which direction he was going to move, but it has been Mairis Bridis who's been the better mover of the two here tonight.
Good right to the body there. It was a lovely shot from Dorticos. Slight swelling under the left eye of Bridis.
Oh, lovely left hook to the body, and Bridis responds well. Starting to get really attritional, this.
This fight is absolutely flown by. What a fight.
So we head into the championship rounds, but let's take a look before we do that, some of the action from round number 10.
Yeah, I favoured the work from Bridis in this round, just picking the shots well, on the back foot, looking for the uppercuts. That was a nice, long, stiff jab.
So rare you see a combination finish on a jab like that.
Yeah.
So clear when it snaps the head back. And
that was a lovely left uppercut, Chris, from Bridis. Ropes on the back on the ropes. Just pounced in with the left uppercut. Beautiful stuff. High quality action, as I've said throughout this contest. I've really enjoyed it. But for me, I've got Bridis ahead. I haven't tallied it up, but 3 or 4 rounds. 3 rounds perhaps. So Bridis will have to add this up at the end, Chris. I think
the most important thing is right now is that we are witnessing a fight that Juniel Dorticos needs to try and change the pattern of in the next 6 minutes.
Yeah. Get back behind that jab, the stiff jab, not the lazy jab. Throw the right to the body and the head. Just a little predictable in that last round. And Bridis loading up with his counter right hand of his own there. Just narrowly missed.
And if anybody can do it and can do it late, it is Juniel Dorticos.
That's for sure.
Almost shades of the Murat Gassiev fight in some ways. Not quite been as attritional, quite been as violent as that was, but Bridis has certainly picked his spots well and used the blueprint that the Russian set to get himself ahead here. Can he stay ahead?
Good work from Bridis. Head, body, variation, lovely right hand. Good work from Bridis.
Starting to break the Cuban up, isn't he? Dorticos, as ever, even in the midst of fire, he continues to walk into the flames.
Stop! No holding banners.
Lost his way a bit here, Dorticos.
Trying to pin Mairis Bridis in that corner, but just gave him the exit to the left. And back to centering goes the Latvian.
If I was Dorticos, I'd forget the right to the head for the minute. Not having no success with it whatsoever. I know he's extremely dangerous, but it's important he starts scoring. So throw it to the body. Again, moving nicely, isn't he, Bridis? Around the outskirts of the ring, looking very comfortable. Jumping in with 2s and 3s. Good work. Gotta let his hands go, Dorticos. Good right hand, but he took the sting out of it, Bridis, with his high guard.
Well, came straight back as well. Really, really good response after that right hand landed. Pushing Dorticos back now.
Smart boxing from Bridis. A good jab from Dorticos. Well, how lucky have we been, Chris, to witness this, to witness the other finals. It's been fantastic. It really has. This is why I love this sport.
We have seen the very best of boxing in this tournament over the last 3 years, with rumours of talks about season 3 getting underway, perhaps even a heavyweight tournament. This just reiterates what a brilliant format the World Boxing Super Series has done, bringing the best together, crowning champions every season, and finding out in every division, in a day and age where there are so many variables, belts, champions, who really is the best.
It's fantastic. 1 and 2 in the division, fighting for a world title, the Ring Magazine title, the Ali Trophy. It's fantastic. Both men leaving it all in the ring. But for me, Briedis, the smarter boxing, winning this contest. And Dorticos needs to throw the kitchen sink at Briedis if he has a chance or wants a chance of winning this contest. Lovely left hook from Briedis, picked it well.
High risk, high reward time for Uniel Dorticos. He's been taking risks his whole life. Huge risk to defect from his home nation and pursue a pro career, of which has paid enormous dividends for him over the last decade. But perhaps the 3 most important minutes of his career, can he make something of them? Surely he's behind on the cards.
He is on mine, Chris. I preferred the cute boxing from Briedis, landed the better shots. The aggression certainly has been with Dorticos, but not landed nearly enough to be winning this contest. So now he needs to leave it all in the ring. Throw the kitchen sink at Briedis. Try and find that big right hand.
Briedis' conditioning has been so good all night. Never wanes, never falters, feet have never slowed. Into his 35th year. That was, of course, one of the imponderables. We would have been foolish not to have considered it, but it has in no way played a part in his performance. He has been exceptional.
The fight's not had the drama I was expecting, but as far as quality is concerned, it's been so entertaining. It really has. So exciting throughout. You know when it's been a good contest because it goes so quickly, and already we're almost halfway through this final round.
Dorticos is looking for a chopping, a screw uppercut through the middle, but again, Briedis just exit left and spins out of harm's way. Stayed off the line so brilliantly tonight. Always just resetting his feet, just hooked into a stiff jab there.
Doesn't need to get sloppy here, Briedis. Fell short with a right hand there. But Dorticos, you've got to let your hands go. If you want this trophy, you want to keep your IBF belt, you need to let your hands go.
Well, if he has got something in the locker, he's staying remarkably calm about it. He's not rushing his work, but truth is, his time is running out. Look at that clock, 1 minute to go in the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight final. It was like we waited for an age, and no sooner had it started and it has gone by in the blink of an eye. Iris Briedis just giving up Brown now.
Good work, head and body.
And he just spins him off beautifully too.
Great ring craft. Looking for that right uppercut again. But Dorticos looks spent. Mouth wide open.
He's given everything here in his career in this tournament series, season 1 and season 2. Is this the last time we see Uniel Dorticos in a professional ring? Will he head home to see his family now? You wouldn't blame him. He's been a true ambassador for the sport, but this is just one step too far for him. Walked into a stiff jab from Briedis. Final 10 seconds of the Cruiserweight final. Stiff right hand, then the jab landed from the Latvian.
Fantastic fight.
Absolutely brilliant. The two exchange smiles, a really technically good final. As you say, lacked the drama perhaps of Inoue Donaire, but that set almost a stratospheric standard for any fight final, any tournament in the world. But for these two, they left it all in the ring. And now just left for the totals to be totted up, scores to be announced, and the winner to be crowned.
Yeah, Dorticos raising his arms. He feels he's done enough. I don't know if that's trying to get into the head of the judges. and try and get that last round on the card. But for me, the better, cleaner work was from Briedis. A brilliant contest. I enjoyed it. Like we say, it went by so quickly. The aggression certainly with Dorticos. So if you prefer that, maybe you could have given him some rounds. But it's just the cleaner, better work from Briedis, picking the shots.
That's the word. It's effective aggression. Aggression that's misplaced is not scored. And well, he hunted plenty. He tried to cut the ring off, and he threw plenty of leather. But as you say, how clean, how effective were the shots? The memorable ones, the flurries, the crisp punches that landed, that stay in the memory, mostly were from Mairis Briedis. That has to count for something.
Certainly. You know, this is boxing, and whoever hits their opponent more should rightly get the win. And for me, Briedis landed the better shots. But tense here as we're waiting for the decision. Again, Dorticos raises his arms. A little smile from Briedis there as Dorticos, Team Dorticos cheer and chant his name.
Well, the one thing in boxing, Darren, is that nothing is ever a certainty when it comes to scorecards. We know better than that to assume anything. And while we are as certain as anything about this result, how wrong we've been so many times before. The two embrace. Really good to see sportsmanship. And two of them rightly making the final after missing out so narrowly in their Season 1 campaigns. They were really, really terrific opposition for Alexander Usyk and Murat Gassiev.
Well, I'm looking at the back of the room, Chris, and the judges there are all getting together. There's a big conversation, so
have they seen this closer than we have? Are we maybe going to a fourth judge?
Could well be. From what I'm seeing there, look, a lot of the rounds were close. So I couldn't argue if you would have given some to Dorticos in the later part of the fight, but...
MC, our Master of Ceremonies, Tuka Koivunen, is in the ring with the papers. He's nodded to referee to say he is ready. Let's head to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the score totals. Michael Hook had it 117 to 111. Jörg Milke 114 even. Matteo Montella 117 to 111. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by majority decision, the Muhammad Ali Trophy and the Ring Magazine Bell winner, and the new IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Mairis Briedis.
Well, rarely do you get all three scorecards that reflect what we've seen, but I'm not quite sure where 114 has come from. 17-11, perhaps a little bit too wide, but more reflective of the fight we saw there. And ultimately, the right man has got the decision.
Certainly, you know, the right man, in my opinion, won that. The right man got the nod there. Briedis boxed so well. Was the deserved winner of that contest. But credit to Dorticos, he was there, he was aggressive on the front foot, trying to land that big right hand, but it was the cute, clever boxing from Briedis that was stand out there. And what a career he's had, and I'm certain that Dorticos can come back. He's a very good fighter, very dangerous. I think he still has miles left in the tank. But for me, Briedis, will he continue? What a way to bow out of the sport.
Is the desire there for either fighter? That has to be the question that you ask at this stage of their careers. Briedis 35, Dorticos 34, two Super Series campaigns. And we mustn't forget they will have both earned a lot of money from these campaigns too, getting late in the...
Congratulations on your victory, Mairis. Please give us your reaction to the fight.